Hello everyone and welcome to the 19th part tutorial of the beginner guide into Maya. This part of the tutorial is something I already done in the past, but I do want to include this as something very important. Well, everything is important. I don't know, it's like I'm saying these words too much, but it is very crucial whenever you work with Maya. So this thing called the history construction, and the thing about it is simply showing you exactly what happens whenever this thing is applied and whenever it doesn't applied. So we'll start off this part of the tutorial by creating a cube, okay? And immediately whenever you create this cube, you will see that from the attribute editor here, this icon here, which showing you those 5 nice tabs, you have polycube shape 1, polycube 1, in tile shading group, and Lambert. Okay, and the thing is, whenever you start model or reshape this thing, so I'm gonna insert edge loop here, and I'm gonna add one edge loop here, and I'm gonna choose this face and extrude it. You will be able to see basically that this shape with the entire updates by adding those two edge loops and extruding it, each those of steps created a new tabs over here. Okay, now basically those tabs here is meant for you to be able to use them at the same time whenever you start or created something here. So if you were gonna, I don't know, you want to modify this extrusion that we created, you can add divisions to it. You see, like that. You can go to the polysplit ring, which this is the edge loop that we added, the second one, and this is the first one. So we will go over the second one, and we will choose, I don't know, smoothing angle, other than that, or weight. So you can see it's modifying its position, and you can choose that this one will be a little bit there, and you can play basically with those settings. Now sometimes it won't be very smart to use those after you already constructed a little bit more than that. I mean, if you added a lot of more steps into your model, basically you don't really want to mess around with those values from here. Well, at least I'm not doing so. But what's important here is that you will understand that right now you have, instead of 5, you have something like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we added 3 tabs here. And this is what's so-called history. Okay, now you can see here, if I'm going to open the channel box, you will see that we have a polycube, and below it we have the input title, and here we will have the polycube 1, which this is where we started with. We added the polysplit ring 2, and the polyextrude face 1. So each one of those you can also modify from here. So you can expand them and simply see exactly what you want to deal with. So this one has just been expanded and showing you most of the values here that you can play with. Now, whenever you messed around with a lot of your, a lot with your object, and you added and you, I don't know, combined 2 different objects and you patch them in together, what happens is that Maya stores this all information, and in most cases there is a point that you would want to get rid of this information. So what usually we are doing, we are going over edit, delete by type, history, and this will simply delete the entire history of whatever we've done and will keep us with only the outcome of whatever actions we've made. Okay, now this is nice, but then I will show you what's happening about this scenario. So we have this cube here, and let's say that that's nice. I have this cube, and I want to start with adding a little bit more divisions to it. Okay, like this, like that, and like that. So we have 5 on top of 5 on top of 5 subdivisions, edges, whatever you want to call them, and that's nice. Now, if we're going to delete it, basically we won't be able to control it anymore. But as for a start, if we decided that we need those, this is good. Now, there is the construction history option, which by default should be here. Now, you can see we have here arrows, okay? Some of them are open, some of them are closed, like this one here. So, sorry, those are collapsed and these are open. So if we're going to click here, you will see that we have another menu here. And if we want to click here, we'll have another menu here. Now, you see this clock with the paper? So this is what's so-called the construction history. Now, by default, it's turned on, okay? This is turned on, and it's just memorize whatever you do. Now, if we're gonna turn this off, and sometimes in very rare cases, you would want this turned off. Sometimes people forget to turn this on, okay? And then they are creating a new cube into their scene, but instead of getting 5 tabs, they will have only 4. And now they can't really control how many subdivisions they will have. You can see that I'm toggling between those, and I don't have this same other menu that I had. So I'm gonna turn this on, and right now I still don't have it because whenever I created this cube, the construction history was off. Okay, so now I'm gonna create a new cube, and this will be the difference. This one will have this one, okay, which in this case we don't have it. Okay, so this is very important to know. If for some reason you had a time where you didn't want the construction history to be turned on and you just ticked it off and you don't see those tabs whenever you create a new thing, this is pretty much where you want to, simply come and turn this back on, and just so you will know this is there. And I don't know what to say. I mean, most of my tutorials, maybe all of them, you won't need even to turn this off. But if you've seen any other tutorials in Maya, some of them related to effects or I don't know what. So there are rare, situation where people do guide you to turn this off, and then what happens is this confusion about this, the outcome of it. Anyway, this is it for the construction history. There is a tutorial that talks about this. I told you this is second time I'm doing this, but there is a tutorial especially for this thing. There are some other things that related to it, and I will explain them following the next part. But right now I just wanted you to be aware of this feature and what it's causing. Okay, so thank you again for watching. Have a good day and see you at the next part. Bye bye.